Old friends, you are enlisted in a special task that may not be what it seems. Can you help Dumbledore with his guest list for a mysterious gathering? Meet Hagrid. Oh, there you are. Hate to bother you, but I don't have much time. I could really use your help. What's on? Dumbledore's given me the honor of helping him decorate for the gathering in Godric's Hollow. It doesn't have anything to do with Ragnarok's crypt, does it? No, nothing like that. Afraid I can't say much more, sworn to secrecy. Only I got a little excited about using glow bugs to light the proceedings, and well, I spilled the jar. They are escaping into the garden. What's worse, Dumbledore will be here any minute to check on things. I don't want him to think that he can't trust me. If we act fast, we can gather all the glow bugs. In return, perhaps he'll tell me a little bit about the secret gathering. Well, I can't tell you who will be there, but I'll tell you what if you help me out with these glow bugs. I'll tell you whatever else I can. Just don't be expecting me to spill any secrets. That's all the glow bugs. Thank you. What a relief. These little fellas give off a brilliant ambient light, perfect for an intimate gathering, if I say so myself. It's nice of Dumbledore to arrange a gathering of old friends, especially ones who haven't seen each other in a long time. Which is why I've got to keep the guest list quiet. Curious he would hold the gathering in the village square then. It's a very public spot and right by the Potter Memorial. That's the idea. All his guests will crate close to Lily and James. And it's clever because the spot holds special significance. Shouldn't have said that. Dumbledore's guests were all friends of Lily and James Potter. I should not have said that. Hagrid, nice to see you. It's all going well with the decorations? Of course. Then perhaps you can help me with another important task, but I must say I'm surprised to find you here. I trust Hagrid hasn't been talking out of his tone. Has Hagrid told you anything? Of course not. You can trust Hagrid. I see. You're a loyal friend, and you're right to stick up for Hagrid. He is quite reliable. I really know is that you're holding a gathering in the Godric's Hollow Village Square. Yes, after far too long, I hope to reunite old friends. But it is precisely those times when old friends make all the difference. It's thoughtful of you to arrange such an opportunity. I'm sure your guests will appreciate all the work you and Hagrid have done. I do hope so, and that's actually why I'm here. The 3 guests have not yet responded to the letters I sent. I'd like Hagrid to follow up with them and confirm if they are coming. I'd very much like to help you, but it's quite important. I'm not sure if I'm your man. If it were magical creatures you're talking about, I'd know just what to do. But for something like this, you might want someone who's quite good with people. Dumbledore said himself that you're a good friend and trustworthy. Not to mention you're great with people. If you believe it will help complete the task, Mr. Dane can go. But you must stick together and he must not miss any classes. And given the private nature of my guests, I trust you both not to pry. Who should we talk to first? The 3 guests you'll need to invite are Mundungus Fletcher, Remus Lupin, and Aberforth Dumbledore. That sounds like quite an electric group. I wonder what they all have in common. The things that bind us are often less surprising than those that may pull us apart. I'm surprised you're sending us to talk to a Dumbledore. It sounds like he is your brother. He is, but my brother and I have a complicated history. It would mean a great deal to me if it was, what? But I suspect Elberforth will be more moved by your words than mine. I'll do my best. As for Remus Lupin, I wonder if he'll remember me. If you have had contact with Remus, then you are clearly the right person for the job. I've been trying to for some time, but to no avail. I would recommend you start with Mundungus Fletcher, though. You'll find him in the Three Broomsticks. Perhaps he can point you to the others. We won't let you down. We'll meet Mundungus and talk to him about the gathering in Godric's Hollow. Talk to Mundungus Fletcher. Come enjoy a few bales of butterbeer. I've got my eye on that one over there. Dumbledore seemed a bit distracted lately. Desiring a silver locket for a loved one, or perhaps a blessing meal. Talk to old Mundungus. Whatever you're missing, I'm sure I have it. Rubius, old chum, long time. Who's this firecracker? One of the finest wizards I know. At your service. Sure I can interest you in some omnicolos, or perhaps an enchanted razor. We are here on behalf of Albus Dumbledore. He asks us to follow up with you on his invitation to a gathering at Godric's Hollow. Must trust your lot quite a bit, and he must trust you to want you at this private gathering. Will you come? Oh, I'd love to, only I'm flat broke. I should really focus on selling me wares. Then again, if someone was willing to help me sell everything in my bag, perhaps I could find that time. Are you saying you'll come only if I help you sell everything in your bag? All I'm saying is if everything in my bag was sold, I'd have time to journey to Godric's Hollow. If someone were willing to help me, that is. I'll help you sell your wares, but you'd better keep up your end of the deal. That's everything. I sold it all, and I suppose you helped a bit. Now we have sold your wares. Will you come to Godric's Hollow? Keep acting like you don't trust me, and I'm liable to get offended. I only want to be certain it was quite important to Dumbledore. I'm touched it matters that much to him. I don't hear much from the Order these days. I'll keep up my end of the deal. I'll be there. What was that you said about the Order? Alright, that's enough. Remember, Dumbledore said not to pry. We'd better get a move on. We still have 2 more people to see. I suppose you're right. You don't know where we might find Remus Lupin or Elberforth Dumbledore, do you? Haven't heard from him in years, but you'll find Aberforth at the old Hog's Head Inn most of our days. Then we'll head to the Hog's Head Inn. We'll talk to Aberforth about Dumbledore's gathering in Godric's Hollow, then we'll be nearly done. Convince Aberforth. Really too early for Chipple? No, is it often too late? Never seen this place so crowded. Eerie news out of Godric's Hollow. I hear screaming, they say howling. There's Dumbledore's brother. You're up. Excuse me, Mr. Dumbledore. Call me Aberforth. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. I'm Dr. Stainsel. I have come to ask you about Dumbledore's gathering in Godric's Hollow. You haven't responded to his invitation. I'm sorry to say I've got my hands full at the moment. In fact, I really should be getting back to work. Are you saying you won't come? I should think not. My brother and I don't get on like we used to. I'm not so sure he really wants me there, to tell you the truth. Because I can't think of any reason that Albus would want me there. I don't suppose you could either. Because your friends will be there. According to Dumbledore, you haven't seen some of them for quite a long time. But surely that doesn't change what they meant to you. I've often wondered how they are doing. You have got my attention, but I'm still not convinced I should go. Then let me convince you. I will tell you all I know about Dumbledore's gathering in Godric's Hollow, then you can decide. You're right, if Dumbledore's gathering who I think he is, I haven't seen that lot in years, but we fought together, and though we are ultimately victorious, we all suffered a great loss together. Our lives have changed considerably, but they are still a mean to a good deal to me. Most of them, at least. Does that mean you'll come? Yes, I suppose I will. That's 2 off the list. Brilliant work. The only one left to talk to is Lupin, if you can find him, that is. That's a shame. We were hoping you might be able to help us find him. We are a bit of a loss for where to look. I'm going to say I'd have no idea where to start. Supposing we can't find him, Dumbledore will still be pleased with your success. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, and we will wait one at a time. You can go and tell Dumbledore the good news about these 2, and I'll get started on the decorations. I'll head to Hogwarts and tell Dumbledore. Perhaps we'll have an idea of where to look for Lupin. Update Dumbledore. We got the thumbs up. Under no circumstances can there be a gathering in Godric's Hollow. I'm sure you can appreciate that, my guess, and I would not willingly put anyone in danger. Even so, until this issue has reached its resolution, I must insist you follow my instructions. On the matter of werewolves, I think you'll find me quite obtuse. I believe you mean obstinate. I mean what I mean. I better not interrupt. I'll hide until they are finished. Perhaps I'll even learn a bit more about Dumbledore's guess. Now I'll only say this one more time, so listen close. Huh? Oh. As you can see, my hands are tied. Several locals reported nightly cries of a werewolf. Upon further investigation, I discovered a half-giant hanging light bulbs near the Potter Memorial. How did they look? Quite nice, actually, but don't distract me. My superlative skills as an interrogator revealed your attention, so I had to rush straight here. Gathering with a werewolf loose will only increase the number of suspects and put the villagers in danger. You have made your point perfectly clear. Now, what do you think, Mr. Dane? I didn't want to interrupt, forgive me. I believe you already know Cecile Lee of the Ministry's Werewolf Capture Department, of course. Hello again, Mr. Lee. Apologies for spying. You have good instincts. Spying is a very important part of investigative work. Do werewolf reports warrant cancelling the gathering in Godric's Hollow? I think Cecile's wrong about everything. Preposterous, I'm right at least some of the amount of 100% of the time. Even so, if Dumbledore believes it's safe, so do I. Though I assure you Cecile's heart is in the right place, you'll both be happy to know there is no cause for alarm. You may think that now, but werewolves can be quite befuddling. But the guests I'm gathering are perfectly capable of handling this one. The truth is, I was already aware of this werewolf, and I have a plan to exactly how to handle it. And with that in mind, I'll ask you to excuse us for now, Mr. Lee. I'd like to speak with the honorary member of the werewolf capture unit in private. With his help, I believe we can satisfy the werewolf capture unit's concern. Part 2, Dumbledore asks you to help Penny revisit a painful tragedy from her past. Hello, Professor. You said you wanted to talk to me in private. In the time I have known you, you have proven to be a very trustworthy friend, and your help with my party guests proved you are capable with those who have unique personalities. I still haven't spoken with Lupin, but I will. Do you think he might know something about the werewolf in Godric's Hollow? Whoever this werewolf is, I believe we can safely deal with them and hold my gathering as planned. What do you need me to do? The truth is, I know a little more about this werewolf than I have let on. I'll explain, then you'll know how you can help me. Blimey, you traced the werewolf in Godric Hollow to an attack near Wigtown, and you believe it has something to do with Penny? That's what I believe. If I'm right, Penny will be an invaluable researcher in locating and handling the werewolf. And here is where you come in. I'd like you to speak with her and find out if she is willing to revisit that summer. I'm sure it will be hard, but her involvement could be in dire importance. That's why I only trust you, her dear friend, to broach the subject. I'll understand if Penny does not want to be involved. However, this could be an opportunity to finally heal. You would be instrumental in that. If someone's going to ask her about it, I'm glad as a good friend. Since that is quite a delicate issue, perhaps we should discuss your methods before you go. When you talk to your friend about the troubling matter, how will you approach her? I'll tell her not to worry because we'll do it together. Together, you have overcome many obstacles. I'm sure Penny will appreciate being reminded of your close bond. I knew I could count on you. Should Penny agree to help, return to my office together. I will, Professor. I'll head there now and see if she's willing to help us. Hi, Penny. I hope I'm not interrupting. I'm just practicing for forgetfulness potion. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. It's a difficult subject. Before we talk, if you want to know whatever happens, we'll get through it together. Of course, I want to hear why you have come, but I'm a bit nervous. This all sounds a bit quite ominous. I'm half distracted with this potion. I really can't get it right this time. Why don't I help you with your forgetfulness potion? Mullins beer, the potion came out perfectly, and I appreciated having someone to do while we talked. I can't believe Dumbledore thinks a werewolf in Godric Hollow has something to do with me. That memory is the most painful one I have. What happened, Penny? Saw my friend Scarlet attacked by a werewolf, and I was unable to stop it. I've never been able to fully forgive myself. That's part of why I work so hard at everything I do. I can't let something like that happen again. If it means confronting a werewolf again, this time we will do it together. I'd like to believe you, but what makes you so certain this time will be different? Because you have only grown in power since I met you. You are more powerful than now that you have ever been. And I'm certainly not the same witch as I was this summer. Thanks for believing in me. I've heard all I need to hear. I'm going to help. That's brilliant. But before we begin, there's something I need to do. When I'm up against an enemy that scares me, there's only one thing that can put me at ease: studying. Of course, we'll head straight to the library to learn everything we can about werewolves. After that, we'll be ready to talk to Professor Dumbledore and confront the werewolf in Godric's Hollow. Study werewolves. Is Penny alright? She's a bit more excitable than usual. Who would have thought school would involve so much schoolwork? Penny seems quite interested in werewolves. I hope there's no trouble. There you are. I came early and gathered every book on werewolves I could find. The more we learn about them, the easier it will be to defeat the one in Godric's Hollow. We still don't know what exactly Dumbledore wants our help with. There may not be a fate. Even so, we should be prepared. If we learn everything we can about werewolves, we will know how to help no matter what Dumbledore wants. Fair enough? The more I learn about werewolves, the less I like them. According to Lupin lawlessness, werewolves are ruthless creatures with no moral sense. It's true, when a werewolf transforms without wolfsbane, it loses any shred of its humanity. But memories of what they have done stay with them after they transform back into a person. I'm sure there are werewolves out there who regret the things they do as a wolf, like the narrator of Hairy Snout, Human Heart. Not so sure. The Ministry's Werewolf Code of Conduct of 1637 was meant to help werewolves safely integrate, but when it was instituted, very few werewolves came forward. If they aren't willing to safely integrate into resident society, that means they are dangerous. Not all werewolves are dangerous. If this is really the werewolf that stalked the woods of Wigtown, I can't afford to be indecisive. If it comes near me, I won't hesitate, not again. I'm sure Dumbledore will do anything in his power to keep us safe. I don't mean to get carried away. I just feel quite strongly about this. Dumbledore may only want information about what happened. Well, thanks to you, we have read everything there is to read about werewolves. Dumbledore wants information, and we'll give it to him. I think I'm finally ready to talk to Dumbledore. Then let's head to his office now. I'm so pleased you agreed to meet me, though I wish it was for better circumstances. I wasn't certain I could go through with it at all. But Darko's reminded me I'm not alone. That's why we have come together. I can do this, but only with him at my side. The value of good friends in difficult times cannot be overstated. And I'm afraid these are quite difficult times for some. But you haven't said what you need from us yet. I don't mean to cause any suspense. With all the planning I have left to do, it's best to take things one step at a time. I'd like to start by hearing everything she can remember from that summer. I'll tell you everything I can remember, but I'll need Darko's help. How can I help? This isn't going to be easy for me. Once I start, I want you to make sure I don't stop until Dumbledore has everything he needs. I'll tell you what I remember from that summer. Thank you for sharing your story. You have suffered a great loss, and I admire your strength. And from our conversation, it's clear the two of you have a bond that will see you through many challenges. I'm sure he wants more than a story. There's still a werewolf on the loose. And this won't be finished until it's caged or destroyed. Werewolves are powerful, but it's unfair to assume they all have malintent. Many are lost and confused and in need of help. Thanks to your help, we will soon be able to determine this particular werewolf's intentions. I don't mean any offense, but this is the werewolf that attacked Scarlet. I already know its intentions. I've seen what it's capable of firsthand. If we are to face it, we can't hesitate. The cost is too high. It's like you said, Professor, the werewolf could need our help. And it sounds to me like you have been reading Harry Snout, Human Heart, in a Leighton text. Now I know you feel strongly, Miss Hayward. I ask only that you not rush to judgment. What's the next part of our mission? If you're up for it, I'd like you both to travel to Godric's Hollow. So we are going to fight the werewolf. If all goes according to plan, there will be no fighting of any kind. If anything unexpected should happen, he will keep you both safe. And then let's go. As long as Stalkos is by my side, I'm ready. Alright, we're off to Godric's Hollow. Part 3. You and Penny meet Mad Eye Moody, and your mission takes a shocking tone. Oh, Mad Eye is sick. We finally get to meet him. No, we've met him before in this game, haven't we? I don't know. Okay. Come on. Meeting Mad Eye Moody. There you two are. You took your sweet time getting here. Are you Mad Eye Moody? Dumbledore sent us to meet you. Yes, and he's told me all about you, Ghostbreaker. That's quite a reputation you have. You must be quite busy, Mr. Moody. If you came all the way here just for a werewolf, it must be dangerous. I suppose werewolves can be a bit nasty, but I was already on my way here when Dumbledore asked me for help. Does that mean you're one of the Dumbledore's guests for the gathering in the village square? My, he must really trust you to give you that kind of information. A lot of people would be interested to hear just who's coming into that gathering. It's up to us to keep Dumbledore's plan a secret and to make sure there are no werewolves party crashers. Yes, Dumbledore said we could help make sure that doesn't happen. He said you would fill us in on the details. It's my understanding we have been charged with capturing the werewolf and determining its intentions. It won't do much good trying to talk to a werewolf, of course, but if we can hold on to it until it changes back, then we can question it. That sounds quite difficult. Nonsense. Capturing a werewolf won't be hard. We just need a plan for how to do it. You mean you don't have a plan? Me? I just said I was traveling. I've had no time to plan. Besides, Dumbledore said you'll know exactly what to do when the time comes. He said you are quite good in a crisis. I see. Well, if a plan's what you need, then let's make one. We are running short on time after all. Let's brainstorm. Alright, if the werewolf may be drawn to Penny, perhaps her presence will lure it out of hiding. And once it approaches, we'll use Petrificus Totalis to bind it. Correction, I'll use Petrificus Totalis. You two won't go anywhere near the werewolf. If all goes according to plan, that is. Yes, I'll bind it, then we'll bring it to an old friend's house. But now that you mention it, we should probably review the spell before we do anything else. I want to make sure you both know it as well as I do. You can't hope to brush up. We'll practice Petrificus Totalis once we know it all by heart. Let's reconvene at my friend Bathilda Backshot's home. Great, we'll meet you at Bathilda's Backshots to prepare. So this is where Bathilda Bagshots live. I have read all her books. What an honor to stay in at the very place she crafted a history of magic. Will we see Miss Bagshot Moody? She was quite helpful when we were dealing with Ragnuk. I'm sure you will see her again soon, but Bathilda agreed to let us use her home on the condition that she'd not have to be there. She's not particularly partial to werewolves. That makes two of us. Then let's get to work. If I remember correctly, you study Petrificus Totalis as part of your third year curriculum at Hogwarts, so we'll consider this as a review. You'll both need to know exactly what to do. Alright, we'll practice the spell. Great work, you two. You're getting it. Practice makes perfect. We'll want to do a quick final test, but there's something I'd like to say before we do. Seeing you two work together, the way you support each other, I'm impressed. You make a good team, don't take it for granted. You seem upset, Moody. Are you alright? I'm fine, just wistful. It's touching all the trouble Dumbledore's gone to. I don't know how much he told you, but the group he's gathering worked quite closely together throughout the recent Wizarding War. And many of us were people who wouldn't have otherwise crossed paths. Working in secret like we did, we have no one to rely on but each other. I was surprised at how quickly we lost touch after the war. This will be the first time I have seen many of them in use. There are a number of reasons, no one person to blame. I only mean to say, don't let it happen to you and yours. We would never let something like that happen, no matter what. I see now why this gathering is so important to Dumbledore. We'll do everything we can to make sure this goes smoothly. It's quite important. I'll admit I'm feeling a bit nervous, really, about seeing the werewolf. Yes, I know Mr. Moody will keep us safe, but if something goes wrong, what if I freeze again? When it comes down to, what if I can't cast a spell? You won't freeze, you can do this, Penny. Just remember what we practiced. You had it perfect then. On my own, it's easy to doubt myself, but with you, I just may be able to do this. Since you are going to be the one casting the spell in an emergency, Penny, let's see you give it a go. You can do it, Penny. Oh, yeah. Excellent work, Miss Hayward. Now, with that all settled, I think it's time to go and catch the werewolf. You two will help blow the werewolf out of hiding, but you must not get in its path. Now let's head to the graveyard. Meet in the graveyard. Ooh, the ghosts. Nosy nights here in Godric's Hollow. I swear I'd lose my head if the mortician hadn't sworn it back. Boo, just kidding. Welcome. Make yourself at home. Now, I knew hunting werewolves would be creepy, but I didn't think it would be this creepy. Ragnuk doesn't show up. He can be quite moody. Quiet, you two. Night has fallen and the full moon is on the rise. And remember, you two are the only here on the chance that Penny scent could attract the werewolf. When the time comes, I'll be the one to capture the werewolf. Then we can hold the beast until morning and confront the human behind the wolf. We just need to find a spot big enough to hide the two of us. Let's search the graveyard. This crypt is large enough for the two of us to hide behind. It's quite large, Jess. You'll be out of the view of the entrance, which I suspect is where the werewolf will come from. But before I leave you, I must emphasize that your safety is of the utmost importance. If and when the werewolf arrives, do you promise not to get involved? Can't promise that. If those calls to fight, we will. He's right. I won't hesitate again. And I suppose that means it's up to me to make sure you aren't called upon. Now I'd better get into position. It sounds close. Stay safe. Stay hidden. I'll be back soon. Penny, was that you? No, I thought it was you. It's just a kid. It's neither of us. It's the werewolf. Trificus totalis. Wow, I failed. What the fuck? So I cast the spell, holy. I'd be Penny. You saved me. I knew you could do it. Thanks for believing in me. I can't begin to describe how good this feels. Told you to stay out of the trouble. Well, trouble found us. Please tell me you're alright. It's odd, but the werewolf barely scratched me. It's almost like it was trying not to help me and still attacked you. And because the werewolf didn't whip you into shreds, doesn't mean that wasn't his aim. A good woke Penny, even if you won't follow him in my instruction. Now let's get the beast back to bag shots. Penny, are you ready to find out the identity of our werewolf? I don't know, my hands have been shaking since we encountered it. After a long night watching over our werewolf friend Hugh, morning's finally come. I believe it's about to transform into its human form again. I don't know if I can stand it. What's wrong? I know we wished you to learn the truth about the werewolf, but if it's really the werewolf that killed Scarlet, I don't know if I can do as Dumbledore asked. What do you mean? He only said to keep an open mind. Given what it's done, how can I give this werewolf the benefit of the doubt? I know we have friends who would disagree, and I don't love myself for feeling this way. But the truth is, many werewolves are monsters. I've seen things go horribly wrong as a result of inaction. It's too late for debate. Look at the changes has begun. Who's that? Is that Scarlet? It can't be. That's not possible. What's wrong? Well, that's not the werewolf that killed Scarlet. Then who's it? It's Scarlet. What's happened? Where am I? Why? She's barely a child. This must be some mistake. Finet incantatum. Penny, is that you? Can't do this. It's not possible. I just can't. Penny, wait. Don't let her go far. We still don't know what's going on. I'll take care of this poor young woman. You go after your friend. Alright, we'll meet back here once I find her. If you hurry, you may be able to cut her off in the village square. Part 4, Penny's world has been turned upside down. Can you arrive right in time for Dumbledore's reunion? Find Penny. Penny, there you are. It was just so overwhelming to see Scarlet after all this time. Are you alright? I don't know. I was prepared to confront the werewolf that killed Scarlet, but I don't know how to feel about seeing Scarlet herself. My head is spinning. I understand how upsetting this must be, but perhaps some part of you is excited to discover your friend is still alive. I wish for this moment for a long time, but now that it's here, I'm scared of how it makes me feel. What do you mean? Scarlett's not just alive, she's been hiding all this time, hiding and living as a werewolf. Who knows what she's done? We can talk to her, we can learn the answers to these questions, but it hurts knowing she let me go on thinking she was. Is it wrong to think that I may not be able to forgive her? I understand being upset, but Scarlett may have had a good reason for hiding. We don't know what she's been through or what she's feeling. We don't know anything. We have an opportunity here to learn the answers to all your questions, Penny. Perhaps you should withhold judgment until then. Perhaps I should, but I don't know if I can talk to her. I don't know if I have it in me. You have come this far. You know I trust you and I value your advice. Help me make up my mind. Tell me why I should talk to. I know this is hard, and if you choose to go your own way, I understand, but you told Moody yourself that you would never let you and your true friends go apart no matter what. And from what you have told me, Scarlett was a true friend. Despite how I feel, I can't imagine what Scarlett's been through, especially if I don't talk to her. Thank you. Or more of a mess than it already was. Does that mean you'll come back and talk to Scarlett? Of course I will, Penny. Now let's head back to Bagshot's house. Penny, I'm so glad you came back. I found her in the village square. She was just needing a moment to gather her thoughts. I was worried I'd never see you again. Came here thinking the werewolf in Godric's Hollow was the one that attacked you. You can't imagine what it was like to find out it was you. You're the werewolf in Godric's Hollow. I imagine it's a little like waking up in a strange house bound by your best friend's magic. You must be quite disorientated. Scarlett, we didn't mean to take you by surprise. It's just a surprising situation. She's feeling much better after our talk. With me? Of course not. I was ready to run away, but you reminded me a promise I made. I realized after everything we have been through, I couldn't just leave Scarlett. I'm glad I could help. We were best friends, Scarlett's time apart shouldn't change all that. But this is a big deal. I can't overlook all that's happened. Before I can move on, I need to know how you could let me spend all my time thinking you were dead. I have so much to tell you. Perhaps if you tell us your side of the story, it would be a little easier to understand. My story is complicated, but hopefully once you have heard it, you have... I need you to understand that what you saw was real, but something kept me here. Something kept me alive. Perhaps it was the power of the wolf already taking hold. When we came back after the attack, you were gone. We thought the werewolf had taken you. We searched for, but after weeks, we held a memorial. But in a way, the wolf did take me. I woke alone in my room. Wounds were already healing. It was terrifying because you knew what you had become. I was so obsessed with werewolves as a kid, it wasn't hard to guess what I was becoming. Thank you for telling us all that. I know it wasn't easy. It's you I should be thanking. Without you, I may have never had this opportunity. But it's my fault. But that's my point all this time. Not a word. You could have left a clue, a note, anything. I wanted to reach out to you, but Penny, I swear, but I was worried you would reject me. I can understand that feeling. I didn't know how my parents would react. I didn't know how you would react, and I was dangerous. The best I could manage on my own was to lock myself away and hide between full moons. I know it hurts me to say it, but on some level I preferred it that way. I knew that as long as you thought I was dead, you still loved me. That must have been so lonely. It was lonely, but more than that, it was frightening. I tried to control the wolf, but it was too powerful. It's pure luck that you captured me instead of doing what you could have done. It was his idea to use Petrificus Totalis. But it was you who cast the spell in the end. Thanks to Penny's careful nature, we read a book about werewolves before coming here. While doing so, we discovered that you can control your wolf side with the aid of Wolfsbane. How odd, Wolfsbane is actually why I came to Godric's Hollow in the first place. But there was no wild ingredients growing here. I was contacted by a wizard who said they could help me. You can imagine my surprise, but they said they were sympathetic to my situation. They offered me one of the potion's rare ingredients if I agreed to meet them in Godric's Hollow. Someone invited you to Godric's Hollow at the same time Penny and I were sent here. You're sure you have no idea who it was? It was an anonymous letter. All they asked for me to meet them in the graveyard in this morning. What are we waiting for? Let's head to the graveyard. There's no one here. But perhaps we missed the person who sent it. I expected you to be older, and a single person instead of 3. Lupin, it's you. I've been trying to get in touch with you on behalf of Dumbledore. It's good to see you. You must be the one who sent me the anonymous letter I received. I thought we knew each other better than that. Me, I didn't send the letter. Well, someone sent me an anonymous letter saying to meet them here. How strange. We are here because my friend Scarlet received an anonymous letter saying the same thing. Yes, and they said they could help me with an important potion ingredients. Let me guess, that aconite over there was promised to us both. That's one of the rarest ingredients in, our potion. Yes, that's the ingredients the letter promised. How strange they should promise it to both of us. I'm not sure, but clearly I am missing some important pieces of the puzzle. Tell me how you all wound up here. I think I'm beginning to understand. Glad one of us is, because I'm a bit lost. Dumbledore has been reaching out to me for ages, but lately I prefer to keep to myself. Just like me. Exactly like you, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's no coincidence we are meeting so close to this gathering Dumbledore's plan. It's an event he knows I would have been likely to avoid had I heard of it beforehand, but you already knew about the gathering. Dumbledore said he sent you an invitation. I received only an anonymous letter about the availability of this rare ingredient. I should have known it'd be a catch. It's quite cunning. But why would Dumbledore lie? I'm not sure he did. From what he told me, Dumbledore only said he was hoping to reunite old friends who had fallen out of touch. I believe that applies to my old group of friends as well as you two. So Dumbledore did all of this for us? Perhaps not. We can't be certain. I only know that Dumbledore believes true friends can endure anything. And intentional or not, things have a way of working out. If it was him, then Scarlet and I owe him a thanks as well. Without you and Dumbledore, I'm not sure we would have found out our way back to each other. I'm glad it worked out for you two. You're kind and gentle people. You keep the aconite, young one. I will make do. No, let's split it, Mr. Lupin. I insist. There's plenty to share. Alright, I'll take a bit, but then I must go. I trust you know how to use yours. I have a friend who will know what to do with it. Before you go, Lupin, perhaps you'll give me a chance to finish my initial task. Dumbledore asked me to talk to you on his behalf. Based on his request, if he didn't send an invitation, I think it's fair to me to offer one. Will you come? It was a mistake to come here, though. I appreciate your gift of aconite. I'll split the bundle now and be on my way. Seems these flowers were wrapped in the notes. What does it say? For exhibiting exceptional dedication to friends old and new in times of great struggle, the following witches and wizards are coldly invited to a special gathering of the Order of Phoenix. It's your invitation. It's not just for me. The names listed as are Remus Lupin, Scarlet Sparks, Penny Hayward, and Darkus Lane. You mean we're all invited? Yes, and you should go. I'm sure you'll meet many unique witches and wizards. As for me, I won't be missed. That's not true. They are some of your closest friends, and you haven't seen them in a long time. Perhaps you owe it to them to honor what you have shared. While what you have said is true, my situation is complicated. I need some time alone to think this through. If the three of you want to get there on time, you'll have to hurry. Then let's hurry to the village square. Attend the gathering. There you are. The glow bugs look quite big, don't they? A businessman work is never done. Don't worry, I swept all the floor on Bathilda's floor after you left. It looks like we arrived just in time. And Aberforth Dumbledore is in the back. Everyone came. You not only brought me and Scarlet together, you made sure Dumbledore's gathering worked out perfectly. I wonder who that stranger in the horde could be. I think I recognize the color of that cloak. It's Lupin. He came, reminding him of how long it's been since he saw his friends. Must have moved him. And look, they are all gathered by the Potter Memorial. It's quite beautiful. Yes, it's really something. It seems all the guests are here, but where's Dumbledore? Oh, there he is. Thank you all for coming. I know it was quite the journey for some, and others who were nearby still had to rush. Before I join you, I'd like to say a few words to mark this moment. In conclusion, though we have gathered at a spot of some significance, we are not here to celebrate loss. We are here to honor those experiences that bind us together. Triumph flaws, they shape us equally. However painful they make us who we are. We may sometimes wish to forget, but if we turn our backs on the past, we can turn our backs on each other. I'm sure you all have places to be and lives to attend to. I only hope those who can will stay for a glass of pumpkin juice and a story or two. Thank you for joining me, friends. How I have missed you all. It seems Lupin has snuck off. It's a shame. I was just starting to agree with him. Perhaps Dumbledore did have a hand in orchestrating all of this. All I know for certain is that I'm so glad you are back in my life. Me too. And I feel grateful to Darkus. Get the feeling, yeah, I get the sneaky suspicion none of this would have happened without him. I was happy to help. Hello, Miss Haywood and Miss Sparks. How wonderful to see you here. I'd like a word. Did I do something wrong, Professor? It seems I owe you a debt. You not only made sure all my guests arrived, you handled our werewolf situation with what did I say? Neither was an easy job, I'm sure, but you knew what was going to happen, didn't you? You sent the anonymous letter to Lupin and Scarlet. Oh, me? I write so many letters, I can hardly keep track of them all. But words cannot express how happy I am to see such a brilliant reunion of old friends. Perhaps a token of gratitude will express what words cannot. Thank you, Professor. And did you say our gratitude? Yes. On behalf of the Order of Phoenix, I'd like to thank you for your service. Speaking of friendship, I'd say it's time to rejoin our friends, shall we? Sick. Thank you all for watching. Catch you next time, and peace.